In this episode, I'm going to see whether it's possible to train speed, strength and endurance in order to break a sub-45 10k from inside my garage. If you're new to the channel, I'm Andrew, I'm 42 years old and I'm just someone who's trying to rebuild my fitness and take on different challenges along the way, and this channel is going to be recording that journey. There are three areas that I think I can cover from inside my garage. One is speed, one is endurance, and one is strength. I've been searching on Marketplace for equipment that I can put inside this garage that'll enable me to keep training through the cold months that we're going to have here in Britain. The first bit of equipment is this exercise bike. Now this cost me £20 off Facebook, and I was debating what type of trainer that I think I could get in order to keep cycling through the winter months. I looked at the Wahoo kickers and all those sort of things, but they're very expensive. I looked at the turbo trainers, but as I've only got one bike, I didn't want to have to keep switching wheels or taking it on and off, because although the weather will get pretty bad for many months, there's still times that I want to get outside and actually cycle, and quite frankly I didn't want to have the hassle. So in the end I went for an exercise bike, and I think this will work just fine, and this will help me with my endurance. I've said before that as somebody who's in their 40s, pounding the pavement every day just makes no sense. It just increased my risk of injury. It's something which does leave me sore if I do it in too many consecutive days. So having a bike, and as you can hear, certainly can improve my endurance. Spending time on here with my iPad, sticking on a film and watching some YouTube, I'll be able to keep training, whether it's raining outside or not. So the other bit of equipment that I managed to source off Facebook was this treadmill. Now I think these are still going for about £750 brand new, but this one managed to get for £80. So far it's working absolutely fine. Having this means that during the winter, and at any time really, I can just pop out and I can do a quick speed workout, I can do a tempo workout, or I can go for a long run. Now I will be honest, the long runs I've done on here have been absolutely tedious. Running inside a garage for 10 to 15k gets pretty boring pretty quick. So I've been using it mainly to do tempo runs, and still managing to get outside and do my long runs and easy runs while the weather is still reasonable enough for me to do that. Now today's workout isn't going to be on the treadmill. This is just for the video's sake, to show you that it is an actual working treadmill. I'm going to be on the bike today, and the plan is to do about an hour and a half of zone 2 training on the bike. Now that's because last night, as I had done in a previous video that I'll link up here, I did a tempo run in Shrewsbury. I'm really pleased with how that's coming along. I said in that previous video that I felt that my aerobic ability was definitely there, but it was definitely feeling the fatigue in my legs. Now what I've done is I've altered the way that I'm training. So probably very naively, I was training my legs on the morning and then trying to do my tempo runs on an evening, and that just wasn't working. So I've switched things about, and that means that I still did 2 workouts yesterday, but I did more of an upper body workout yesterday and then my tempo run, which meant that actually I was able to hold a much faster pace for a longer period of time and hit that goal that I was trying to achieve. I'm going to hit the bike now for an hour, and then I'll come back and talk about how I'm going to do strength training in here. Okay, so that's the bike workout done. What I've done is I've hooked up a bike computer to the exercise bike and tried to set it so it's as accurate as it can be. So that ride was an hour and I cycled a distance of 32 kilometers, and according to my watch I was in zone 2/3 for most of that ride. So that's the first time I've actually used this bike to try and do a workout in zone 2, and it actually worked really well. So for £20 off Facebook plus a cheap bike computer, seems to have ticked all the boxes. So now I'm gonna grab a shower, grab some lunch, and then I'm gonna come back in here and do a strength workout, and I'll catch up with you then. The one thing I have found with doing lower body is that I can end up with quite a lot of DOMs afterwards. So my muscles tend to be sore for 2 or 3 days. It's not so much sore muscles, but it's just heavy legs, and my muscles haven't recovered enough in order to do the next training session. So I've tweaked it. And what I've done now, instead of doing 1 lower body session a week, I've now increased that to 2. But to compensate for that, I've lowered the volume, and I've also lowered some of the weights on it. And that has seemed to have worked quite well actually, because I feel I'm maintaining strength. I'm not necessarily building strength by doing that, but I feel like that will help me maintain strength. It's probably too early to say whether it will maintain strength or even not build strength. But that seems, certainly the first couple that I've done, seems to have definitely reduced that muscle fatigue, enabled me to do more workout, certainly around running, cycling, and with the football that I play. The other thing I have introduced is more plyometrics into my workouts, because what I have found is that in order to try and get that more spring in my step, especially with running and to get faster when it comes to running 10Ks or even sprinting on the football pitch, which, as someone in my 40s, my ability to hit top speed has considerably reduced over the last 10 to 15 years. So I'm trying to build in a little bit more speed work, not just on the treadmill, or whether that's out running down the canal or wherever it is, also hill sprints, but also weighted plyometrics. So I tend to do what I've just done as my more lower body strength workout, but then move into what I'm about to do now, which is some basic but weighted plyometrics to try and increase that springiness in my legs, and hopefully that will help me run a few seconds faster. It'll also hopefully help me run a bit faster on the football pitch and keep up with some of the youngsters that I play against. So that's what I'm about to do now. Well, in this home gym of mine then, I think I can definitely hit speed. I've got the treadmill where I can do tempo workouts and interval workouts. It also comes with an incline, although it's very minimum. I could do some incline workouts as well. So I'm pretty confident now I'm going to be able to hit my speed workouts in here. I could definitely hit the endurance workouts. I've got the bike and the runner, and that means that I'll be able to do zone 2 workouts. And I think having 2 different equipment to look at means I get to choose. I can either do the bike, or I could do the runner, or I could do a bit of both in order to keep things fresh and interesting. And then with strength, although it's a basic weights that I've got there, I've got some dumbbells, I've got some kettlebells. These are great, these adjustable dumbbells. I don't know whether you can see them, but they're the adjustable dumbbells, and they are great. And then different bits of equipment. So it's not the nicest of space. It could definitely do with a lick of paint, maybe a carpet or something. Look, this is real life. This is what lots of people out there have to deal with. They have to try and do the best they can with what they've got. This is what I've got, and I'm trying to make the best of it. So that's my intention. That's how I'm going to work out throughout the winter. I'm still going to get outside. I've still got the bike, which is ready to go. I've still got my running shoes I can throw on and go for a run. And football season is full steam ahead now, and I'll be out training on Wednesday evenings and out playing on Saturday. So there's still going to be plenty of outside activities. And then, when that weather, or the dark mornings, or when it's too frosty to do anything, this is where I will be, especially when I'm trying to do workouts before work and after work. So we've got 2 weeks now until the 10k race in Oswestry. That's coming really fast. Feeling fairly okay with that, hoping to stay injury free, keep building on the relatively good base that I've got. So the goal and the aim is still to go for a sub-45 at that. 2 weeks after that is Hyrox in Birmingham on the 22nd. So my training hasn't been very Hyrox specific. I think I will try and do some more specific Hyrox training after the 10k, but the reality is, with the time that I've got available to me, I'm going to have to probably wing the Hyrox a little bit. I'm not overly worried. I feel that the running is there. I think I'm going to have to come up with some tactics on how I'm going to approach that Hyrox, the different stations. I want to be doing it in less than an hour and a half. That's what I've got in my mind at the minute. I'm going to have another look at that before the actual day, but it seems that if I could do it below an hour and a half, that would be a good time to start my Hyrox journey. I've also booked Manchester for next year as well, so I'll be doing the Birmingham one then, and I can't remember exactly when it is, but I'll be doing the Hyrox in Manchester when that comes around as well. And I've also got the half marathon, but not just leaving it there. I've also got some ideas on when it comes to triathlons and other things. So, when this mini series on the 10k ends, then that won't be the end of it. There'll be something else to move on to. So you can go and check out my videos now on the intro to this series. I'll be doing some more updates, taking you along with the race. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.